What is
Red Dead
going
right
on,
now.
guys? It's Steeler here, back again with yet another RDX podcast with all of the latest and greatest gaming news with some friends here, as usual. We got a phenomenal panel, a great show coming up for you with some really interesting topics. Shout out to those who are already here, and we're going to get into some introductions. As always, Randolph Thor, thanks for joining us, bud.
Thanks for having me, Dealer Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to come on the channel, and I really enjoyed your Red Dead 2 review yesterday. Watched the whole thing, gave it a thumbs up. And
Wow.
well, actually, I didn't share because I have all that blocked on my Twitter. I really enjoyed it nonetheless.
I do appreciate it, bud. And yeah, it took a while to make, and I checked yours out. Great review as well. I did the same. I finger banged that like button, just like everyone here should do now to this video. We've also got the Naughty Dog of YouTube, Cold Eastwood, man. How you been?
Good. I also watched Dealer Gaming's review of Red Dead Redemption and Randolph Thor's review of Red Dead Redemption.
Eastwood.
Yeah. So
and Fonzarelli's, which is pretty good as well.
Yes, and I watched Fonzarelli's. Yeah, that's right. So it's been pretty good. I'm only not even halfway through the game, so it was hard to watch those reviews. I'm like, la, don't spoil.
Well, once again, brother, thanks for joining us. We've also got the Salt King, Saltiest Gaming. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Hey, I was busy being called an X-bot today for my video that I made, and been playing the hell out of Red Dead Redemption 2, man. That game is amazing. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Masterful work there on behalf of Rockstar. Speaking of masterful, we got a masterful fraud. D-Batch, how you been, bud?
I'm good, man. Surviving that Twitter attack. Yes, I'm still breathing. I too actually watched your video, and I got to say, halfway through it, you went all Digital Foundry on me, and I was really, really impressed with it. That was a good video.
Oh, thanks. That's coming from D-Batch himself, people. We've also got Zauker87, the newest member of the RDX podcast. How you been, bud?
Good, bud. It's good to be back on. And I actually saw your review too. And I got to say, man, the captured footage you had was pretty awesome. The little montage in the beginning was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, was that all captured on a $350 capture card, or what? It was a $200 cap? What was that captured on? I forget.
Was it the new Elgato? Sure. Was it not?
And no, I think it's just a fucking thumb drive in my Xbox. It's insane. So I got to give props to the DVR and the Xbox One X. Absolutely phenomenal how they've managed to pull that off. Speaking of phenomenal, we've got some shout outs to give. And we've actually got just a random giveaway thanks to Dave_Incubus on Twitter, at Dave_Incubus. Thank you. Just randomly hit me up like literally 2 minutes ago. Said, hey, I want to give away a copy of Forza Horizon 3 on the show or whatever. So, hey, of course, we're going to give it away to someone listening here today. And we've also got some patrons to give a shout out to as well, including Gucci Duffel Bag, the one that got me last week. We've also got... Michael Bowen. We've also got Prime Suspect. We've got Channing Pennington. We've also got Guillermo Cabillo, Lethal Papa, and of course Robert Prather. That guy drives across the country like every other week. He's a trucker. We get a lot of truckers that listen. Rand, you get any comments from truckers?
Can't say that I know any truckers, Dealer. No.
Okay, well, this is a trucker podcast apparently, and we do appreciate those. Hey, it's the perfect time to pass this time.
I've got a truckload of Xboxes in this thing, and I'm not stopping until I get to the other side.
Yeah, so we do want to thank those guys, and I also want to say hi to Cameron, who is a listener as well. What's up, guy? We do appreciate you guys checking us out, and thanks to the supporters of the podcast. You guys are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna give away that code here in a minute. I'm done digressing. PubG Rand, you fucking clickbait fraud.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I clickbaited it. Sue me.
I don't think it was all that clickbait. Come on.
Well, you know what? I just said, what would Zalker do?
Well,
you know,
explain the scenario to people that didn't catch the masterpiece today.
So, in shocking news, PS4 is getting PUBG in December. A 1-year timed exclusive? No, couldn't be.
Was that a report or was that confirmed? Or
so Eurogamer confirmed it with their sources, and Z Huge said it was coming out in December as well. So you have a website and an industry insider. Well, what happened was there was images on Sony's server that were spitting back logos of PUBG, like on Sony's PSN servers that people could find. which
Yeah.
basically means the game's on there. So sometime next month, maybe as a Game Awards announcement. Remember how Microsoft did the whole Rocket League thing that one year? Hey, Rocket League's coming to Xbox. Well, maybe they'll do a similar thing. PUBG coming to PlayStation.
I think they could use this to take away from the next Inside Xbox or XO18 rather, because I kind of heard that there was going to be some kind of PlayStation announcement between now and XO18, and this could be it. Maybe you think, Colt?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Well, I mean, Salty would say, "Who cares?" Right? Who cares? Who cares about PUBG?
What would you say?
Yes.
Why are you getting called the Xbot?
Oh my God. I went in on PUBG, honestly. I've been going in on PUBG for months. And then in my videos, people are like, oh, this guy's just an Xbot. He just hates on everything that's not Xbox. I'm like, man, you guys apparently haven't seen my videos, but it's just PUBG is garbage, right? We have Fortnite, we have Blackout. Fortnite started kicking the teeth in, and then Blackout came in and just finished the job, right? So then we got PUBG that's been out for a year, and Bluehole can't get their ones and twos together. They're too busy sipping Mai Tais on their yachts, right? Now they come out with this this Joker and Harley Quinn shit. I mean, didn't that movie come out 2 years ago, or did I miss something?
First they came out with the cell phone versions.
Well, be careful, because Resident DC fanboy Zalker will defend that move and that movie all day, every day.
Well, if you look at it, it's two perfect pairings, right? Two irrelevant things. The movie was bad, and then you got PUBG that's bad, so it's a good pairing, So
you're gonna stand for that, Zalker? You just called DC irrelevant.
Shut your clickbait ass up.
All right, frauds. I do got to give a shout out to already well over 300 already watching, guys. We do appreciate it. Hit that like button as we get into the show here. Let's try to get to 300 for the end of the show. And as I take some more speed, apparently. So what's on here with Aaron Greenberg? Because Mr. Underachiever asked him a question today, and he got a reply, which is great.
Really good, yeah.
Story there, Colt. Fill the audience in there.
What happened was, in December 2017, somebody asked Aaron Greenberg point blank about PUBG being multi-plat. He said, you should really say exclusive to game preview because it's coming to platforms at full release, even mobile. And Aaron Greenberg said, incorrect. So that response stood for, 8 months where people thought, well, wow, I guess it's not coming to PlayStation 4.
So to accusations that it was coming to mobile and PlayStation 4, Aaron Greenberg just said, Incorrect, which was weird because I didn't check the date on the mobile version, but I seem to remember 2 to 4 months later it was on Android and iOS mobile. So that's weird. And so now we fast forward to what would be like 9 months later. It's announced to be on PlayStation 4. And so what Aaron Greenberg meant was that it was going to launch the full version on Xbox as an Xbox exclusive. So I'm going to read what he said, and I'm going to use voices to make it more interesting. Underachiever said, what did Aaron Greenberg mean here? I mean, he didn't mean PUBG was not going to be coming to other platforms at full release, that it would stay on PC, Xbox. This is how he really talks, by the way. 4 year after release. It also released on mobile shortly after this tweet, which was mentioned in the tweet. Weird. And Aaron Greenberg said, I interpreted the statement that the game was not going to be an Xbox console exclusive at full release, which was incorrect. It did move to full release on Xbox One. Can be hard to on Twitter to discuss or explain intention in detail on things. I was trying to be factual and help. I don't know if you got all that, but he basically said it's kind of hard to explain in detail what was going on with the exclusivity. And then Underachiever said, thanks for replying. I just think it's confusing that you responded to a multi-angle question with one-word response being incorrect. So it made it hard for us to understand. And he said, totally fair. Apologies if I caused any confusion for anyone. I will continue to try to respond as much as I can. So, which is good. Yeah, which is so basically the moral of the story is it launched. When did it go full release? September? January.
So
yeah, September.
It'll see like 2 or 3 months as a Xbox exclusive, console exclusive at full release, and then it'll go to PlayStation 4. Kind of really, really lame marketing and lame approach and kind of dishonest, really. I mean,
well, not kinda.
yeah, I mean,
have with Aaron multiple times. It's even with Crackdown, he tried to wiggle his way out of the Crackdown February 22nd thing, right?
Yes, where he said, we never said anything beyond February, but we all saw his tweet and we pulled it back up where he said February 22nd or something
Well,
like
I think
that.
they deleted it is what happened. So Aaron tried to pretend like the past didn't happen, and he wasn't going to get reported for that tweet. So I don't know why he deleted it unless things changed. But definitely, I find that extremely interesting. We've called Aaron Greenberg out over and over and over and over, and I failed to kind of see what significant role the guy plays. Though I'm always rooting for these guys to do better, but at the end of the day, we watch somebody do this for years, and it's kind of hard to do so. Rand, in chat really let us know what you think about Aaron Greenberg's comments, and were they misleading? Were they intentionally so? Rand, what do you kind of think to cap all this off?
Aaron Greenberg is a marketer. It's his job to make Xbox look good in every possible scenario, even if he has to stretch the truth, and stretch it he does.
I think he made it look bad, though, right? With all this.
Well, yeah, and the only ones that really remember are the hardcore people like us. Like everybody knew that PUBG was eventually going to come to PlayStation at some point. It's just that now everybody's over the game. Like Salty said, everyone's, you got Fortnite, you got Blackout, you got Battlefield 5 coming with Battle Royale next year, and PUBG just kind of isn't the big thing anymore. And you know what's funny about it? Rewind a year ago, and PUBG was in Game of the Year discussions. You remember? Because it was the whole big thing about can a game in early access be Game of the Year? And more than that, every single Xbox podcast was talking about how Microsoft should buy full exclusivity for the game, how they should buy Bluehole, how
Rand.
I think I have the tapes. It's on this channel. It's on this channel.
Incorrect.
A year ago.
No, you were actually saying that it was dumb to try to seal a deal like that with someone like Bluehole, who basically just got lightning in a bottle, but has demonstrated.
Well, maybe not this channel. Maybe a different channel.
Yeah, we definitely
and a different podcast.
Train with PUBG. But I do get what you're saying. A lot of people were saying that. Is that is that all, Rand?
I mean, what else is there to say? The only thing I'm really interested in now is to see the Digital Foundry comparisons between how the Pro runs on the Pro and how it runs on the X, because that game was a broken mess for a long time, and this is coming from someone who's played the game for 600 hours, who put up with all the technical issues, right? If they somehow get it running better on the PS4 Pro, I will laugh like a madman.
Now, here's the thing with that is, according to them, it shouldn't be possible because the base Xbox has a higher clock speed on the CPU core than the base PS4, and the X has a higher CPU clock than the PS4 Pro, and the CPU is apparently the big bottleneck there. So if they somehow get it running better on the PS4, then we know that maybe they didn't relegate it to the C team or the E team.
Well, I would expect them to just go ahead and put the game at 1080p on the Pro and then not worry about performance hits. And I don't know if Microsoft was putting, whispering demands for them to try and hit 4K, because it made no sense for that game to run 4K 22 frames per second.
No, it's not the GPU bottlenecking the game, though. That's the thing. So it's like I said, it's a CPU either way. The Xbox has the advantage across the board with the CPU. So it's even running 1080p on the base Xbox One, if that tells you.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It is getting an X patch this month to choose between performance and resolution.
Which
finally
will probably still be like, I don't see it at 60 or at least locked anyway. But
I also want
to good.
I also want to squash, this is really quick, I want to squash some pipe dreams. Like, there's a lot of Xbox fans that are hoping that Microsoft will pick up Bluehole and buy them.
No.
And I would just like to help remind you, just stay. We want Microsoft to stay away with their wallet from Bluehole. This is I don't like to bash developers, but what I see from Bluehole is they had like the hottest game on PC in 2017, and it was hot on Xbox, really popular, and he stayed with his skeleton crew of 25 people in South Korea. I mean, I think that's how it went down. But, like, he didn't bolster up his team with all the money they were making and do what Fortnite was doing. And I don't want that kind of team working with Microsoft.
Well,
It
apparently
doesn't do me good.
he just said it takes time to vet people and get proper skilled developers in there. And trust me, we can already tell that. So that's what he said. And whatever, Zucker.
Yeah,
I think the best thing, I think Microsoft already did the best thing they could, to be honest with you. They didn't need to buy them. I mean, the game has sold over 8 million copies or whatever it is now on Xbox, and they've had it for a year, and it's kind of done. It's over. I mean, Blackout's out now, and there's a bunch of competition, and Microsoft got the maximum profit they were going to get from it over the last year. And it going to Sony or PlayStation's platform really doesn't mean shit anymore, because the game is already has an established, fan base on Xbox and on PC, and it's just kind of moving on now. I bet it's not selling as much as it used to because of Blackout, and it's kind of done. Microsoft got what they needed from it for that year, and now it's over.
That said, they are teasing big PUBG news at XO.
It's going to PlayStation 4.
Well, yeah. Hey, Phil Spencer's like, we wanted people to play PUBG, so we're going to put it on PlayStation.
We're putting it everywhere.
We wish it could be cross-play. That's what they're going to say.
What if they put PUBG into Game Pass as one? They're also teasing a Game Pass title or more Game Pass.
That might be it. That
might as well.
And that might help drown out the noise from it going to PS4. To be honest.
They're going to put it in Game Pass, and the stocks will instantly tank. I think the best place to play PUBG right now is on mobile. So,
really,
not even PC?
Performance-wise, yeah.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to the Indie Gamer, Noof, Lethal, Ashtray, all you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. Shout out to almost 500 people here already. Hit that like button, guys. We appreciate it. As we move on to a hopefully much less boring topic than PUBG. We got some MPD information. Rand also did a video on this as well. Basically, they released their top 10 selling games across all platforms for the entire generation. And there are some definite notable things in here, including the fact that Halo 5 is in the top 8 for Xbox. It did beat Destiny and Fallout 4. And that's like I said, total sales in the Xbox. We know Fallout did like 12 million on day one. Fallout 4 did a ton of copies. So Halo 5 is it sold so much more than people know. I think they confirmed 5 million in 3 months. Frank O'Connor did, right, Rand?
Yeah, you also got to reiterate, because I had people in my comments section. This is only full game sales. This has nothing to do with microtransactions, nothing to do with loot boxes, just full game physical sales and digital sales too. People seem to forget that.
Okay, did you buy digital? The game or not, right? Yeah,
I mean, if you bought the game, you're included. But hey, the best-selling game of the generation is a game from last gen. Who would have thought?
Rockstar. I'm not nearly as mad at him though. After playing Red Dead, I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to see this all this praise that team gets. Red Dead 2 is indicative of that amount of praise. It's deservingly so.
Dang you, dealer! I love Grand Theft Auto 5.
It's okay. I just. Man, the story was okay, but I just felt like it was overrated. But anyways, these are some of the top games. The top games across the generation. Like I said, Halo 5 comes in at number 8, beating Fallout 4 and Destiny, stuff like that.
What does that say to you, dealer? Those numbers.
That Microsoft shouldn't be so afraid to release actual numbers, because we know that Halo 5 has sold like probably 8-9 million copies by now. But some people are hearing more, right, Rand?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't have solid sales figures, and this is for North America only, but I would say the list would probably remain the same, except for the FIFA would probably come in there at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. FIFA, God of War was number 7 on the Sony side already after its release in March, so that's extremely healthy growth there. And they're saying that Spider-Man will be on that list. What is it, this month, right?
Yeah, I'll jump right on there because it's probably outsold God of War.
Yeah, it probably did, for sure. And especially with the holidays coming up, Black Friday, that game's going to sell like bananas, man.
I know across the planet, like that list would be different, when you include the greater, like all of Europe and stuff like that. Like that list would be different because, it's just North America.
I don't think it'd be that different. I think FIFA would be on there, but I guarantee you, it'd be still Grand Theft Auto and the Call of Duty games.
Well, it's weird because when I look at that list, it just reinforces that the hardcore, the 10%, I see that over and over, and it's just reinforced with different metrics that the hardcore is 10% of the whole entire, setup. You got 85, almost 85 million or 86 million PS4s, and God of War is, 1 out of the 10. It's really interesting. I don't understand why everybody on the planet didn't buy God of War or Spider-Man. Like, it just seems like if you were a console gamer, you bought that game. And it just kind of bugs me that the hardcores are just, we're in the minority, the ones that buy every game when it comes out. We try and play every game, beat every game. And the ones that are sitting here watching podcasts and talking to us, we're all the hardcores. This is like our passion for gaming.
Is that true? Is that true, D-Batch?
Yeah, ask him.
Yes, it is.
yes, it is. Yeah. So I mean, well said, Colt. The hardcore is always in the minority, though. So, but the hardcore do influence the casuals, right? What game should I buy? Pick up Spider-Man. It was pretty legit,
Of course.
That's why Grandma had an Xbox 360. Her grandson told her to get one, probably.
Yeah. The hardcores are the people that are very vocal about it and do tend to change people's opinions. Like these fuckers at GameStop this generation, a lot of them said, hey, get a PlayStation instead of the Xbox. Kid came in, he wanted an Xbox, walked out with a PlayStation. So
well, Rand, basically for the most part, this whole list, or at least most of it, is identical across both platforms, including the top the top 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, it's like I think 7 of the top 10 games are the same. Battlefield 1's on both. Star Wars Battlefront 2015's on both.
What number was Battlefront?
Well, maybe Dealer has the thing in front of him, but
Battlefront on PlayStation 4 is 8, and then on Xbox it's 6. But the difference between the two is the NBA 2K is on PlayStation 4, both of them, 2018 and 17.
So go ahead and read that top 10, Zachary, if you don't mind.
Yeah, on PS4, it's obviously Grand Theft Auto 5, and then Call of Duty World War II, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and then NBA 2K18, Battlefield 1, God of War, Star Wars Battlefront 1, and then Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and then NBA 2K17, that's PlayStation 4. Xbox One is Grand Theft Auto 5, World War II, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Battlefield 1, Star Wars Battlefront, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Halo 5, Destiny 2, and Fallout 4.
So that's pretty damn near identical, and almost all of those are multi-plats, and the ones that aren't, for the most part, are pretty modest.
One surprises me on there is Advanced Warfare and World War II. The campaign World War II is really good, but I just feel I never really heard anybody talk about the game, or I didn't feel like they were on it every day playing the multiplayer. I don't know. Am I wrong?
People buy Call of Duty, man. That thing.
Oh, I know they do. It
flies
just
off the shelves. The one that surprises me is honestly Halo 5 being above Destiny 2, because it launched years ago, right? And it had a smaller install base. And you look at Destiny 2, and it's like that was just last year, and it had a lot more. They have like 10 Xbox Ones, and now it's 20. I mean.
Well, over the course of time, it's possible Destiny 2 might overtake Halo 5 just because one's newer than the other, And Matt Piscatella did say on the Xbox side, just sitting outside the top 10 is NBA 2K18, Overwatch, and I forget the third one.
Overwatch, that's a good one.
There's like three other games just on the outside, just could potentially make the jump. If the other games in there don't increase in sales this holiday.
Well, point is, just because Microsoft don't release numbers doesn't mean that games aren't selling, right? Just by Halo 5 being on that list, we know it's done around 10 million copies. And that's impressive. No matter, like I said, there was 15 to 18 million Xbox Ones out at the time when that game hit. So that's very, very impressive. Yes, that's over time, just like all of these games. But nevertheless, it just kind of goes to show that they do sell a lot of copies of these games. We knew Halo 5 hit 5 million in 3 months, according to Frank O'Connor, and people didn't believe that. So once again, things are selling pretty well. The industry is more healthy than ever. Xbox is pretty much more profitable, among the most profitable that it's ever been. Yet we still have people saying the brand's dying and all this crap.
It's dead.
We get your complaints about the games. We complained about that more than anyone else. I would beg to argue on this podcast about the game situation. And then finally they announce all the studios and all the stuff they're doing. So we're like, oh, that's awesome. Us bitching about it every single week, every hour isn't going to make anything happen any faster. I'm glad they've addressed the problem. Now we just have to wait, so I think it's good news, guys. Speaking of good news, potentially, is the fact that Anthem is supposed to offer 2 different graphics modes on the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. 60 frames. I'm not sure it's going to be a possibility here, bud. What do you think?
Not sure, man. I think 60 frames, maybe at 1080p. Yeah.
I think it's funny you asked D, who gets the most crap for 60 frames mode.
Well, I mean, I don't know if people notice, but I bounce around to different people to get people involved.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so D is really passionate about this kind of stuff, regardless of the L's, and he has a good time talking about it.
Yeah, no, I think it can do a 1080p 60 frames per second one. What's the official word on it? I haven't really read up on it.
What is that official word, Colt?
Well, I wanted to ask D first. If it has a 60 frames mode, will you pick it up on the X before you pick it up on PC? You don't have to. You don't have to pick the right answer or the wrong answer.
No, to be honest with you, I'm going to double dip because I have EA access on both PC and Xbox. So
yeah,
give me 60 frames all day, every day.
So Windows Central reported it and another outlet. So I mean, it sounds legit. It's just kind of weird that they're kind of probably in the polishing completion stage at this point. You know, the next 4 months or whatever they're building the game to try and push out a 60 frames mode. This question is better suited for Dealer if he thinks it's going to be possible or if it's going to happen.
I don't know. It's running on Frostbite, and that's been a very malleable engine, right? So isn't it running on Frostbite?
Yeah,
I mean, every
game
is running on Frostbite pretty much. So it's been a very high performance engine, with the exception of Andromeda, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, most of the games are 60 FPS. They're very light on the CPU. Even the consoles are bringing out 60 FPS on this stuff. And even the base consoles sometimes, even though they're more GPU limited than the upper end premium consoles. But regardless, I think it'd be awesome. I'll always choose 60 if it's available.
Yeah, and also too, with these FreeSync Samsung TVs out, the 4K mode, I'd like to leave it unlocked, like have an option to unlock it so you can take advantage of the FreeSync as well. Because I don't think at 4K, obviously, it's not going to get to 60, but I do think the 1080 60 is possible on it.
Yeah. Beaner in the super chat says, can't watch live, but I just wanted to show my support. You guys are the highlight of my night. Thank you so much, bud. We do appreciate it. You guys are ours. How about that? That's a classic Rand Althor love letter line. I'll go ahead and pull that out, and use that one right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button if you're checking us out. So Anthem, 60 FPS potentially. What's the point of different modes unless you're going the Monster Hunter route, which then you're looking at potentially unlocked frames, and that's where FreeSync would actually come in handy for you.
You remember when when Anthem closed the show at Xbox's E3 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sony, like what they do, steal the video and Photoshop out the Xbox buttons and overlaid the PlayStation. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Anthem's really good. I really hope for BioWare's sake.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so too. I've been looking forward to that since that reveal. And the details on this was that an executive producer tweeted that out to a fan that asked him about the frame rate. And he said, yeah, we're trying to do that on the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which is easier because they don't have PvP in the game. So they can pretty much do what they want, to be honest, because there's not going to be a competitive advantage to anybody to change anything.
Yeah, and speaking
about that competitive advantage parity bullshit, if you're, you know what I'm saying, like you're never going to be on the same playing field. The same guy complaining about 60 FPS has 4 extra buttons on his Elite controller and can reload while he's doing a backflip.
And some guy's not using headphones either, just sitting there with his speakers.
Different refresh rates. Like if you're on a different TV, you got 14 milliseconds input lag. Some guys on a plasma with 80. There's just you're never going to be even in 30 and 60. It just honestly, it's not worth complaining about. PC gamers don't do it. You don't hear those guys. Well, you can play at 200 frames a second. It's not worth complaining about, man.
Play the game. That's it.
Play the game.
Did you see the other bit of EA news? Was supposedly Mass Effect Andromeda's Xbox One X enhanced now?
Yeah, that was on the topics they ran.
I didn't know. You don't send me the topic list. All you said was join the podcast. I'm sorry.
Fraud
I thought it was a nice
strikes
segue.
again.
I thought it was a nice segue.
It is a nice segue. Why don't you let Rand have
God
you on that one?
It is. It's a really nice segue, Rand. I'm going to give you 2 points for that one. Actually, I booted that up, and mine wasn't enhanced.
Well, not yet. They're in talk. It's reported
tomorrow's N7 day.
So they might drop it in 7 day.
Now, do you guys think it'll get a performance mode? Doubt it.
I don't know. Whatever. We just covered all that crap. Hopefully it does. That'd be great. But the game looked, it's a good looking game on PC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I played it 1080p 60 on PC, and then I loaded it up on the X, which is not enhanced, and it's running like 900p. I'm like, that's
correct me if I'm wrong, but it is enhanced on the Pro, is it not?
Yeah.
Enhanced, yes.
Checkerboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It is checkerboard, and it does have HDR and stuff. I mean, the people acted like that game was a 50-something on Metacritic, and like I said this a million times, it's like a 74, 75, not a 55. So it's not absolutely abysmal. I got like 90 hours in that game somehow. Don't ask.
Me too.
I did beat it. I did all the loyalty stuff, and I got a lot of time in it. That intro is just so slow. I'm not sure I'll ever go back.
I just didn't love it, but I liked it like you did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. I don't even want to say it wasn't bad. It was in parts, okay? But anyway, Zalker, we've got some Odyssey information here. Odyssey, even a lot of people play Red Dead, and they're like, there's no way I can go play Odyssey now. I'm like, I'm still craving this Odyssey crack rock. Like,
I'm missing it.
Yeah, like Odyssey's so much better, like I said, than people know. But 45% digital sales there for Odyssey. And that's kind of indicative of some other titles out there. Does that surprise you that they're selling so much? Digital's kind of continuing to take over.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all, man. I mean, I've gone digital, and I don't really go physical unless there's a huge sale like Black Friday or something, and it needs to be worth my while. And usually the digital sales are almost just as good sometimes. They were down for a few years where they couldn't match, but now they've kind of caught up. And AC Odyssey going for digital, the 4 days earlier really helps people. You have it pre-downloaded, so you don't have to go wait midnight. Like, just makes a lot of sense. I got Red Dead physical or digital, but my buddy bought it the day of for me for my birthday, and it was like I had to sit there while you guys were playing, and I was just like downloading it. Man, it's just terrible. But this 45% it's gonna keep growing, man. And I wanna know the solid numbers of what this game sold, because I hope it sold a fuck ton, because I freaking love it. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, and it did better than Odyssey and stuff, or Origins.
Origins. Hey, there you did it again.
I did it again. I'll always do it. Too similar. And that's kind of a quick fire thing there, but it is interesting. Ubisoft about almost half the sales are coming from digital and stuff. Not really worth going all in depth because a ton of games have done this, but Odyssey continuing the trend. I wanted to ask Salty something here about Sunset Overdrive, because the game.
Well, Salty's not in.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he dropped out.
He's not in the show anymore.
Yeah, he might have some technical difficulties. It was a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I just want to tell the chat, you guys, if you're wondering about Odyssey, just get it. Have it be your next game you're going to play. Just get it. It's really.
I'm going to say something controversial. I'm having a hard time playing.
Don't you even say it.
I'm having a hard time adjusting to the controls of Red Dead Redemption because of how crispy smooth the damn controls were in Odyssey.
And fast.
Honestly.
Really fast.
And faster. I'm having a hard time.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is the anti-Ubisoft game. I mean, I played them both back to back. Dealer's gone back and forth. So's Colt. The controls are not exactly Red Dead's strong suit. I think we all can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But Cassandra, because Alexios doesn't really exist to me. She's a gymnast, man. She gets around super fast. That's the whole point of Assassin's Creed. You're supposed to be super speedy. The controls need to be tight. Like I kind of feel like Arthur Morgan has weight to him. Like he's a 250-pound man. It's gonna take some time to do things. I don't know.
Arthur isn't jacked, Rand. Okay, 250 is a little
whatever. 200, 210,
maybe.
Whatever.
Nah, that motherfucker looks like 190.
Okay, but still, he's not like petite little Cassandra. Jumping around everywhere. Right?
Yeah, it's a slower pace for sure.
We're not all 7 foot like Dealer.
Or badass Alexios.
But yeah, that is such a good game. And if you guys have I don't know if I just buy the game. It's so good.
And trust me, Red Dead isn't going to ruin your experience. Like if you already play Red Dead and you're like, there's no way I can play a Trashens Creed suckery. Like, just don't worry about it. Like that game just does so much different from Red Dead. It's a different type of experience, a different type of fun, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot to do. But anyways, we've talked about this game so much. Salty was the perfect person to ask about Sunset Overdrive here. And he did message me. I just saw them. He said, sorry, guys, he had to back out. Something happened. But I guess I can ask Rand, because you're the other person. Like, we all have PCs here. Though we all, except for maybe D, play on console 99% of the time. Ran Sunset Overdrive going to PC, basically coming out and being listed for Steam and stuff. It's happening. We talked about this months ago. It was rumored. It's finally happening. Like Sunset Overdrive is coming to PC. It's one of the last games that they didn't have on PC. Do you think it will affect? I mean, nobody's playing this game. They even gave it out for free, and nobody really plays it. But do you think that stuff like this is kind of reducing the value of the brand?
Then there's no reason to get an Xbox anymore. It's dead. No games, no exclusives. What's the point, right?
Well, yeah, I know
I'm being facetious, by the way. Look, if you
clickbait, Ray.
I mean, I guess it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're wanting to play Microsoft's exclusives but don't want to play an Xbox and have a PC, do it there. If you mainly play on PlayStation but want to play Microsoft's exclusives, I wouldn't really recommend getting an Xbox. I'd say play on your PC, but I guess it all depends.
It really comes down to this. Like I hear people ask me a lot, like, Xbox needs to give me a reason to buy an Xbox One. And I'm like, well, what you really mean is Microsoft needs to give me a reason to not build a PC, because a large majority of the people I talk to, they don't game on PC. They haven't been. They don't want to build one. They like
has his mic across the room.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You hear this? You hear this crispy smooth right now?
Oh yeah, just be crispy smooth.
Yeah, just get up there and.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people like playing on console. They want to. They really want a reason why they shouldn't build a PC, because I don't know if not everybody wants to build a PC or play on it on one of their platforms, but tons do. But I don't know. But like Dealer said, this is like one of the last few big AAA games that you can only get on Xbox, barring Halo Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 2, and Halo 5. Really?
I am happy that more people will get to experience it. I mean, it is a game that is 4 years old at this point. Maybe this leads to the Xbox version getting enhanced. I know Insomniac said they didn't have the manpower to do that because they were working on Spider-Man.
It takes one person.
I'm not surprised it's going to Steam though, because if you look at most of Microsoft's published games that are on Steam, they're all from second party, where Microsoft doesn't necessarily where they hire out the dev, right? Whereas like Master Chief Collection probably wouldn't end up on Steam. So it is kind of a crapshoot on whether or not, what PC platform they go to. I did see some people say that now they're happy they don't have to buy an Xbox because they were going to get an Xbox for Sunset Overdrive, and I'd laugh.
Right, 4 years later, they're like, I almost got one.
I almost got one for Sunset. You almost got me, Microsoft.
I want to ask the panel this. Since it's coming to Steam, do you think this is going to be one of the games that Microsoft adds to Game Pass for the PC?
No. I mean, maybe.
Right? Is that a Windows 10 version or Steam?
It sounds like it's completely out of the hands of the Xbox court. If it's going to Steam, it has nothing to do with Microsoft anymore.
Well, my buddy Jez Corden, who I do the Xbox 2 podcast with, says he knows there is a Windows 10 version as well. So it's probably going to go to Windows 10, and then it's also going to go to Steam. So, yeah, I mean, I guess they could offer that version on Windows 10 as part of a Game Pass thing. I would also assume that this is going to be announced at XO18, right?
I guess.
I mean, I don't know why you'd want to. Like, here's a celebration of all Xbox, but one of the exclusives is leaving Xbox to go to the wider, greener pastures of Steam. I'm not really sure that's the best place to announce something like that.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Lynchpin in the super chat there. He says, finally got to catch the show live. Great panel. Shout out from Germany. So it's almost 3 a.m. over there, man. Thanks a lot. I've talked to him several times on Twitter. Great guy. We do appreciate it, bud. But yeah, I mean, maybe let us know in the chat if you think this, because the chat's kind of our most powerful tool right now. If you don't play on PC, if you don't have a PC, maybe you're a PlayStation guy, an honest PlayStation guy, and you can answer this honestly and tell us if that kind of affects your outlook, or did you give a damn? Do you care now? Are you interested now that maybe it's on your PC? You don't have an Xbox? Like, just let us know in the chat, because we've all played the game, and I mean, it's almost half a decade old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah.
But yeah, I just hope that it sees some success in sales, and it motivates them for interest and maybe funding to do a sequel. I actually like the game a lot. I've played it quite a bit.
Well, they said over and over that they'd love to do a sequel. I think it's Microsoft holding them back.
Yeah, so hopefully this is a ticket for everyone. I wanted Sunset Overdrive to go multi-plat, after it'd been on Xbox for a couple years and it hadn't gone anywhere. I'm like, the PlayStation gamers would love this game.
Predator H2O in the super chat has something. He says it's going to Steam, but not play anywhere. It's kind of a good point. I don't know. I don't feel like Microsoft would need to, because remember, Sunset's free. It was free. Like millions of people had that game, and just for them to unlock that to play on Play Anywhere for free, I don't see how that really benefits them in any way, right? I mean,
would they be even able to do it? Because remember, with Quantum Break, they had to give people codes. To play that version, and Sunset Overdrive was like 2 years before that, before Play Anywhere was a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if they. I mean, I'm not a tech dude, but you are. So you tell me, is it possible they can somehow?
Yeah, it's
they can Play Anywhere.
Yeah, they could make it possible. They'd have to go in and put a little bit of code in there, but yeah, they could do it.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of code. It doesn't take a lot of code to do it. I mean, all games are developed, as we know, on PC, so it shouldn't take them a lot of, just tweaking API a little bit and putting it out there. They could do it, but I think it's more to do with like licensing, because they announced Play Anywhere a little bit after that. So, I mean, if they start going back in their history of games and be like, this is Play Anywhere, then people are going to expect every game in their history to be Play Anywhere, right? Because you just keep going back, you're going to keep going back, and you just get into a tunnel, and they can't be doing that.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill myself if we keep talking about this, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward with it. Because, like I said, the game's almost half a decade old, and, I know we've got a little bit of conversation. Not a whole lot going on this week, but we do got some goodies here coming up. But the fact that Sunset Overdrive is going to Steam, been rumored for well over a year. I don't think anybody's surprised. And I guess we'll have to see how that turns out, and if it even charts or if anybody even buys it. It'll be very interesting to see how many people were holding out for Sunset Overdrive. I doubt there are all that many, but Rand, Crackdown 3 got a little rating there in Australia, 15 plus.
I did. It's coming.
You can play this, Rand.
I know. Yes, and we're here all about it at XO with the release date, with the reveal of the multiplayer. I've heard things. I've heard many things, which I cannot repeat.
The multiplayer is still there, apparently.
Yes, it is. Fully destructible, 5v5. So yeah, I look forward to XO to hearing all the details, because it's going to be there, and you will get the new release date as well. Which
well, I didn't think they ever said anything.
New release date or the
release date. I mean, it's coming out in February 2019, but it's not coming out February 22nd. So
yeah,
we'll talk after the show.
What Aaron Greenberg said, right?
Yeah,
because they did tweet that out.
Aaron Greenberg said incorrect.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to almost 550 people watching this live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get to 300 for the end of the show. We do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. All this time, right? Remember, Crackdown was one of the first games we saw. CG trailer. We don't know how far in development it was. Just because we saw a CG trailer of Crackdown doesn't mean that it was even in full-on development yet. We saw the same thing with Phantom Dust, the reboot as well, which was not very far along at all, and then got canceled because Microsoft didn't like the direction it was going. So we're finally starting to hear some things like, holy shit, Crackdown is like a real thing that's really going to come out, and that actually still has its cloud-based destruction, according to some of these insiders. Are you going to have a seizure when this finally happens? Like, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just generated so much personal hype for the game over the past couple of years. I wasn't even interested in the first half of the generation, but yeah, I would love to, interrogate Rand later. Put like a hot poker in his eyeball and find out what's going on, because I would really like to know. I'm more interested than most people. That multiplayer is going to be a game changer. I think this game's going to be a solid, 75 on Metacritic. I think it's going to do okay.
I hate to break it to you, bud, but it's going to be canceled. That's what the announcement is.
Dang it, Rand, Thor!
And here's Terry Crews to announce it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm hoping it'll win people over. That campaign's really fun, and playing it co-op with friends. I've done that with the last one. So
with the destructible environments, though, I really think this game could really be a shining example of how the cloud really works going forward. I've been seeing so much stuff about the cloud recently, especially today what AMD said in their press conference. And I don't know, man. I think
What did
this
they say in the
can
press
be
conference,
special
Lee?
if they really show it off. Like what I saw like 2 years ago when you had that wall there and they were just shooting out little pieces of the wall and you would see the little pieces of the brick just crumble to it slowly. If they can really deliver that on the multiplayer where everything is destructible and give us a little bit of visual flair, like a upgrade on the graphics, I think this game could really shine. I have tempered expectations though, because this game's just been delayed for so long, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, it's only been delayed once. It's only it had the November 7th release date, no release date before that, and then it had the what they said was February 22nd, but then said we never really said February 22nd. We just said February. So it's been delayed once. It's just taken a long time to come out because it's doing some new things with the cloud and all that. What did you hear at AMD's conference? Who, if you don't know, the two people that don't, AMD make the APUs and the chips and the consoles. What was it that you heard about the cloud there?
So they're basically saying that going forward that uh, both of these consoles look like they're going to be using the cloud and various other companies, and they're going to be throwing a lot of Vega GPUs up in the cloud. And I found that extremely interesting. And these Vega GPUs that they're putting in the cloud have like machine learning, have all these features to it. And I think cloud's going to be something really special in the future. And the way they were talking about it, it was like it was set in stone that pretty much everybody's going to be doing the cloud from every single device. So I think the cloud's going to be a huge thing going forward. And like I said, Crackdown could be that game that really showcases what the cloud can do.
Do you think that PSN, because we all know PSN's it's got the most latency of almost any streaming service out there when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
Do you think that people have played PSN because it's arguably the most accessible and they're like, man, cloud gaming sucks, and they've kind of written off the entire industry because of this?
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't blame them for writing it off because it's horrible on that platform. It's something that really you can't talk about it, you can't demonstrate it. Well, you could demonstrate it to an extent, but you got to just try it. Like I've been trying this Project Stream lately, the Google Project Stream. I've been playing Assassin's Creed on it, and it's like 1-to-1. Like I just budge my joystick and the character moves instantaneously, just like I'm playing it on local hardware. It's unbelievable. And these are just the early stages, right? So imagine when this is like in its full reveal, I would think sometime in 2019, it's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's just from those two companies. Zach, you got some, Dad?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that Crackdown 3 is like my most anticipated like kind of news that I want to see at XO. I mean, I'm just super excited for it. I love Crackdown 1, and it's a game I'm looking forward to. And then when I heard, the rumors for months that like, oh, the destructibility won't be in there, and after the last couple of weeks or the last month hearing like, yeah, it's gonna be fully in there. I'm super excited for the game. Honestly, it's jumped up really high on my most anticipated list to play because I think it'll be a lot of fun to play. I'm just looking forward to it.
I'm not super excited. I'm more of a, burn that bridge when you get to it kind of guy.
Yeah, you are.
I definitely am optimistic. I think that the thing that when I think of Crackdown, and I'm sure the chat can agree, I think of these people who damage controlled The Last Guardian for almost a decade of delays and now have a massive problem with Crackdown because it had one release date and then it got delayed. It just took a long time to figure this cloud tech out and stuff, right? And funding complications and stuff like that, third-party developer coming in and making this thing. Then they delay it to give it several more months of polish, and people have a problem because they want to complete the damn game and make it better before it releases. I don't understand that.
The story of Crackdown is actually a lot more easy to explain if you just look at the last year. Phil is a big fan of the Crackdown series. He felt like it just didn't feel like it was supposed to be as bombastic as it was supposed to. So he told the team to go back and overhaul the campaign. And then the CloudGen thing, which Rand could probably explain better than I can, the CloudGen thing was kind of changing hands. And so they went with the Azure system and kind of rebuilt that multiplayer concept from the ground up on their own stuff without having to rely on that other company. So they gave themselves an entire year. Remember 2017 in the summer at Comic-Con when Crackdown was an embarrassment to the media, Microsoft said, we can't do this. And they just did a full overhaul. Instead of doing what they did with Sea of Thieves and just saying, it works. It's kind of doing what they said it would do and release it. They're doing the total opposite with Crackdown, and I think there's gonna be a difference.
Complain because you get things like Sea of Thieves that don't have much to do and obviously needed more time. But then when Crackdown gets pushed back, they're like, like they don't see their own hypocrisy there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they don't.
But with Crackdown, I understand the delays though. This cloud tech, it's been in work for like how many years have we been talking about the cloud? How many years have we been talking about Crackdown and the cloud and what it's going to do with this destructible environment? So this is something that they needed to come out the way that they said it, or even exceed our expectations. So I think the extra care has to be put into this, because Microsoft's going to want to, sell these services to other companies, right? So this is really going to be a showcase, a showpiece for them. So
I think you nailed it. The Crackdown 3 has to come out and not only meet, but maybe even exceed expectations to not be underwhelming after all of the negativity and all of the waiting. So that multiplayer needs to work. It absolutely needs to work. We talked about the multiplayer beta kind of leaked through the API. We knew Crackdown was kind of being tested online for a while now. They may even have a beta for that Crackdown multiplayer announced at maybe XO. So keep that in mind as well. Test the server loads and stuff. Either way, really interesting title, really interesting development history. And I'm looking forward to seeing how those reviews come out. I'm predicting around an 80, which is much better than a 66, Sauker.
Why you coming at me?
Oh, because you're just next in the line, bro.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Zucker, on the Scumcast this past week, you weren't on, right? People asked the question, who takes the most L's? And I voted Zucker takes the most L's.
That's bull crap.
I'm glad I got groupies that follow me without me even being there. It's kind of nice. Thanks.
Well, I like to listen to other people's podcasts,
Yeah.
Ryan listens to all the drama podcasts, right?
He's a lingerer. He's just there.
I'm a fan of people in the community. Luca's a good friend of mine. I like listening to Luca's podcast.
Yeah, it's a great podcast. But I'm just saying, you go to other podcasts and, you just kind of linger in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. I listen. I won't say a word.
Nope.
A damn word. We've also got this whole BlizzCon thing going on. This shouldn't be a long topic, but it is damn interesting. Zalker did a video on this. Kind of give us front to back here the story here.
Blizzard completely fucked up, and they had one of their worst BlizzCons ever. Fans were extremely disappointed. They big fished them into thinking that there was this big Diablo announcement, and they saved it for the end of the show, and it ended up being a mobile game. And literally the fans just sat there like it was like, this has to be a damn joke. And they thought maybe it'll be crossplay. Like I was reading the chat, people were like, maybe it's a crossplay. You could play on your phone and your PC. Nope, it was a big fuck you to the fans, and they just couldn't take it. I mean, in my video, the first 15 seconds, some guy literally asked them, "Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?" And to the developers in their faces in front of everybody, and people were cheering. The creator of World of Warcraft, who I don't think is with Blizzard anymore, has said that Blizzard has lost touch with their fans. And that they shouldn't, and that the media should not be blaming gamers for the backlash. And it's really bad, man. I mean, Blizzard has a standard that they've set for years, and that standard has completely gone away since Activision took them over. They're one of my favorite, if not my favorite developer, and it's freaking sad, man. I mean, it's so sad. I've been playing StarCraft Brood War the last couple of nights just to be like, it's okay, and yeah, it's just bad.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Activision. They own Blizzard, and of course, maybe some of that has trickled into Blizzard's thought process. But at the end of the day, there were some sources saying, well, there was supposed to be Diablo 4 there, and then now there's other ones saying, no, there wasn't.
No, and on top of it, it was made by a third-party developer that's in China named NetEase or something like that. And so it's not even like, Blizzard's fans are extremely hardcore, and they trust the developer to make something great. And they're like, oh, it's from this third-party developer who you don't know and you don't trust. Okay, bye. And that was it. And now they're saying and now they're saying it's still in early development, that the game they announced is in early development. It is a freaking train wreck. They changed their social media to Diablo 3 icons instead of Immortal. They just went all out. Like they just completely backtracked. They're just
They
like,
dropped
oh,
the curtain
fuck.
back over and be like,
JK.
yeah,
Incorrect.
that never happened. Blizzard did say that they are having conversations about Overwatch cross-play. Mikey Barr doubled down on this and said, yes, do this. And we got to remind you, Barr, that it's cross-play between the consoles, not PC in the consoles. So your Barr got to chill out a little bit there.
Well, he wants it for the he plays on the PC. That's where he plays Destiny 2 and stuff.
Your Barr don't even play console. And I think Xbox need executives that actually play their damn consoles more. But
I think
none of them do. They all play on PC.
no,
Now.
Phil plays on Xbox.
Okay, Phil. All right.
But I think what Mike more wants, because I've spoken to him about this, is I think he really wants cross progression, where you could take your Destiny 2 character from Xbox and then use it on the PC. Yeah. Same thing with you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what he really wants. But
everyone wants that. I want that.
That would be cool, yeah.
If I can play Overwatch on my PC, then go to Xbox and play with my buddies, that would be freaking awesome. I have a lot of hours on Overwatch on the PC. I never played it on Xbox.
Yeah, you PC nerds.
And I think it would increase the sales of each of these games as well, for sure.
Definitely.
Good. Hey, I'm going to drop that Horizon code in the chat. First come, first serve. And like I said, that's thanks to sorry, my topics aren't.
Are those on the panel eligible?
No, you're not eligible. The code will self-destruct your Xbox. So I'm going to go and drop that now. Hit this little button. I just copy and pasted the code. So shout out. I did name his name at the very beginning. David_Incubus, I think. Thank you so much for the random code there. So yeah, Blizzard fucking it up again. Hey, shout out to 550 people watching live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 300 from the end of the show. Maybe share this bitch on Twitter. We really appreciate it. And we're going to get into Ralph Fulton talking about Playground Games and their second studio, the one that had just recently hired 177 new developers. He is talking regarding their project. And some of you may not want to hear this, but this is pretty much the most we've gotten out of him about this. He says the second studio is growing, and they are already doing some really cool stuff. But it'll be a very long time before we are able to talk about what they are doing. I've been telling people forever, like, especially people saying Fable at XO and all this stuff. I went, XO is going to be cool, but keep in mind, it's an inside Xbox event is really what it is.
Damn it, dealer. I just wanted Fable at XO. Is that too much to ask for?
I'm sorry, but you saved that for E3, right, Rand? Like, that's going to be...
Well, that game's not coming out till 2021, 2022 anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say take your time. I mean, these guys earn their respect to take as much time as they need. I mean, don't show anything you don't want, man. That Ralph Fulton guy, like every time you talk to him, he's very competent, extremely talented, and it's just kind of awesome what he's done with like Playground and everything and what they've done there. So I trust him. If he's like, give us 5 years, I'm gonna be like, all right, see you in 5 years, asshole. Yeah.
Hey, Red Dead took like 6 years, right, or something. I'm sure they were in hard development for over 5 years in that game, probably. And you know what? We got a phenomenal experience that kind of defined part of the generation, if not all, right, Rand? I would love these teams. Like I said this 100 times. Like, it's not that Naughty Dog have a guy there that just knows how to make things look so amazing and no other team has that talent. It's that they took 4 or 5 years to make the game, which is something Microsoft have not done on a first-party game that they personally developed. I think since Halo Infinite will be like the first one, right?
Yeah, I mean, even God of War took 5 years.
And it takes time. Time is what gave Red Dead the detail, the animations, the little things you notice, the different conversations. That's what gave them the quality to get a 97 on Metacritic. That and talent. But we know Microsoft had talent, right? So they need time. And if they're going to have a lot of time for Fable, that means the game's going to be even bigger and better. By the way, Destiny Lover in the Super Chat says Xbox is down, can't play his games.
That sucks.
Did you
Cole,
try
can you tell us?
Did you try to put like a tortilla in the disk drive and it's not working now?
I see a bunch of people saying it's down, by the way.
Cole, can you tell us? Are you playing Red Dead right now? Can you tell us?
Xbox is definitely up. It depends on your region. Just tell us what region you're in. Maybe a certain area is having problems, but mine's working. I'm playing Red Dead right now.
And apparently, I don't know if you said it earlier. You said you checked for that Mass Effect patch, right? There wasn't one?
Yeah. Dealer didn't.
Dealer it was only just announced as a
Right.
As,
Apparently, there's a 1.7 patch available now for Mass Effect.
Download it.
I don't know.
No.
I see
Oh,
people talking about it.
See, look, this is what happens. See, we're mentioning Luca's podcast. Then somebody said, look, Taylor called you a drama podcast. I was referencing what Rand likes to watch on the side after we were talking about it wasn't meant that way. Trust me. So, Jesus Christ.
Luca's like a friends of all of us here.
Luca's in chat being upset. Oh my, Luca, I love this
I don't know if he's
Comcast.
upset, but I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past one of these crusty motherfuckers to run and try to
Call her up on the phone. Do you hear what Dealer Gaming said
hear
about
what he
Luca?
just said? Yeah, well, this isn't.
She blocked you already.
Yeah, Luca knows this too because she calls Rand the drama king while we're in parties together. I'm pretty sure
The drama prince.
Rand likes to lurk in the chats of all these. When I say drama podcasts, I'm obviously referencing the ones that talk about other men for 6 hours straight. So, yes, it was not intended to be that way, Luca. You are always welcome here.
And yet I still tend to play all my games and get them finished.
Say what?
Even though I listen to all the podcasts, I still finish all my games and get them,
You do.
Amazing.
Yeah, you don't do 6,000 podcasts a week and then not play any games until you don't have any time.
I don't like the way you guys are talking right now. You better stop it.
Yeah, we just gotta stop taking friendly shots. So, God damn it, I lost my place. Yes, we love you. I gotta scroll down through the topics, but basically, Xbox is down according to a few people. I don't know how true that is. Maybe one of you guys in the chat can tell us. And also, I'm gonna need one of you guys to fill in the time.
You really lost your place. Wow.
You did. You guys.
Wow.
Like I just deleted my tasks or I deleted.
All
my
right, well
topic
here
list
we
again.
go. EA addresses next gen.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go, bud.
Yes. EA did talk about next generation consoles, the PS5 and Xbox 2, and they were saying that no matter what, like if Microsoft, Sony go cloud, if they go part cloud, all cloud, then they are with them 1,000%. And I actually talked about this in a video, and that was like I kind of went off on this because EA know that Microsoft and Sony aren't going 100% cloud, right? They already know this. Like they've all already announced that they're doing consoles. And they know they're using local hardware. So when EA go ahead and mention something like this, then that causes people to freak out and think that traditional consoles are dying. No,
I think it's kind of dumb. I mean, what else is EA gonna say? Like, let's say they do go 100% cloud. What are they gonna do? All right, we're closing up shop, not making games anymore. We're fucked, and walk away. No, they're just saying stupid. Like, who cares? Like, they're just saying stuff about cloud because that's a hot topic, but they're like, yeah, we're gonna be with them. We're gonna develop games for whatever platform, so our games are always gonna be there. That's kind of what they're saying, but it's never gonna be 100% cloud. I mean, if anybody go watch Phil at E3, he says we're gonna keep making, a powerful console, and that's just I don't get why people are freaking out about this. Like, just listen to what they're saying.
They want to freak out. Let's be honest. People are like that.
Yeah,
doom and gloom.
They are. They're all really concerned about traditional consoles, even though they've already said it's going to be the flagship and all that good stuff. And we've talked about this a million times. Like that's why I covered it in the video because I was hearing people just be like, "I told you they're going 100% cloud and blah blah blah." EA said it, and it's amazing how people misconstrue things like that. So people don't really check into stuff. I think it's kind of stupid, but they did say, hey, if they go 100% cloud, we're with them, essentially. And I just think it's really dumb for EA, a company like that, to do that. Like I said in my video, it's just really, really stupid to do because people will buy all of that stuff.
Was this more hyping up their Project Atlas, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Since they recently announced their cloud initiative thing.
Was that before or after this?
It was like right around the same time.
Could have been. Either way, they're still wrong to say it like that. But what exactly? Go ahead, and because I was going to do this too. What exactly are the details of their Project Atlas, Rand?
Oh, I have no clue. I just they announced it and they had this huge thing on their EA homepage talking about it, and I think they have 1,000 developers working on it or something. Zulker, you know about this?
No, actually, I haven't heard about that. I don't know.
So
about
none
the
of you
Falcon.
guys have heard about Project
I'll look it up
Atlas?
right now. Give me like.
It's a
15
really
seconds.
cool name. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing.
They announced they announced it like a couple days before you did your video. So like when you were talking about that, I just thought they were hyping up the cloud because they literally were building their cloud infrastructure for whatever they're doing for next gen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I don't
even if they did that, that's not Microsoft saying, "Hey, everything's going to be cloud based."
Well, true, but we know Microsoft is doing xCloud. I mean, the guy who was in charge of the backwards compatibility stuff announced today that he's leaving the backwards compatibility program to work on xCloud.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's a big part of Microsoft's future. You know, Google's coming in with their Project Stream and their cloud initiative. Sony has PlayStation Now, and whatever things they do to decide to try to build that out for next gen, there's going to be a lot of cloud competition, right?
Yeah. Well, we know that it's definitely a big part of the future. Zucker, did you find any details on that yet?
Yeah, it's freaking giant. It's like they put out a lot of. It's literally like a freaking dissertation over here. They're basically saying that they're putting engine and services and game development on a platform designed from the core to harness the massive power of cloud computing and artificial intelligence, and putting it into the hands of game makers in a powerful, easy to use, one-stop experience. So I'm not sure if it's cloud based in that it's for games or it's for actually developers to have a cloud-based thing where they can use engines and stuff like that to make games easier.
I just want to add, that was one thing I did notice today when they were talking about the cloud over at AMD. They shrunk the Vega architecture down to 7 nanometers, and like they increased the performance by 1.25 times, and they add all this machine learning and all this artificial intelligence onto this chip. And the cloud, once it's up and running, it's going to be something amazing, man.
Yeah, it's more than just. I don't think this is about cloud gaming. I think this is about developers. Says they said we've made remarkable technological advancements in AI, cloud, distributing computing, social features, and engines. But because all these technologies have been continued to evolve separately, it's been difficult to conceptualize what we could achieve by bringing them together. That's what they're doing. That's why they hired a bunch of technological distributors. They're working with multiple developers, and it's apparently like an industry-wide thing that they're trying to put together that it will make it easier for developers to make games.
Imagine, dealer, these games that we want these high-end physics on it, all of this being able to be done in the cloud, freeing up the local hardware. Imagine the things that we could get on console.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. Like as a guy that, dude, I'm gonna read a shit ton about this.
Depends on the way because we've talked about DirectX 12 powered physics. They're working on it, right? Google it. Direct Physics is what it's called. Microsoft are working on that. And now we know they're finally getting the hardware that like these next consoles are going to be the most balanced consoles of all time. Like you're going to have a ton of RAM, a ton of GPU power, a ton of CPU capability compared to now, especially like now they're going to actually have hardware to actually do a lot of physics based tasks on consoles, you know, like at a time where they're really focusing on being able to actually do that stuff in the cloud. It'd be interesting to see what route they go. Like playing Red Dead 2, it reminds you that, oh yeah, some motherfuckers just don't try. You know, like some dudes just don't try. Yeah. Like not only is Red Dead probably the best looking game of the generation, I would argue easily one of the best, especially given that it's open world, but it also has some of the best physics of any game, which is also another heavy CPU task. Stack onto that the geometry, the amount of draw distance, all the stuff that it's got to render individually. Yeah. That's heavy on the CPU as well. And then that's why open world games are generally 30 frames because they're more CPU intensive. And then you've got on top of that terrain deformation, stuff like that, which is also CPU intensive. Unless they found a way to transfer that to the GPU, but generally, to my knowledge, a lot of that's CPU heavy tasks as well.
Now compare that back to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the way that game felt, you know.
Well, then you've got on top of that, you've got all of these intricate animations for everything in the world.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And everything is laced in physics, clothing, animal pelts, like everything. Like it is so intensive on the CPU. And then they've still found a way to have a solid frame rate on the Xbox One X and do everything else on top of that. It's like, oh yeah, some people just don't try. Yeah. And Rockstar did.
Yeah, go ahead, D.
I was just going to say the physics, man, they're incredible. I love just skinning animals and just after you take that pelt off and you throw the animal over your shoulder, just the way it sways and the way it hangs. And when you put it on your horse, it's just so natural looking. The physics, honestly, tell you, in my opinion, I think these are probably the best physics I've seen in a game, to be honest with you.
I would agree. It's some of the best.
And
Right
the horse
there with, like,
balls.
Red Faction Gorilla was pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. I don't know when the last time you played that was, or if you played the remaster, but that's like a reminder of, oh yeah, CPU technology, CPU being taken advantage of there. It's pretty impressive, man. Red Dead is just, it's a bar ahead, and I'm just saying that at a time now where you're talking about doing all that stuff local in the cloud and all that stuff, like now we're actually going to get hardware in the next couple of years where you can do a lot of that local on the CPU, the box, so it's kind of not as big of a deal. But if they combine the two, maybe stack, that would be really interesting.
Exactly. They could go to new heights, man. Honestly, tell you, this cloud, it's so hard to describe, but in all honesty, it's gonna change the industry. And for those being scared that we're gonna lose local hardware, we're not gonna lose local hardware. If you want local hardware, it's just gonna add to the experience, man. It's gonna make your games better.
I think what EA's trying to do, sorry, going to be a little technical here, is that when they first made the Frostbite engine, I think it was for Battlefield Bad Company, and they built a whole engine for that. And the Frostbite engine has completely evolved, and that's what they're talking about in this. They're saying that only a few game engines in the world have the ability to deliver on a global scale, and it's limited some developers. So this is a way of EA basically making a tool to make it far easier and better and have power for developers to make games. So they're talking physics, they're talking everything. They said the biggest thing is the game engine, that this is what controls the fundamentals of a game with things like rendering, game logic, physics, animation, audio, and tool chain for creating the game. So this looks freaking awesome, man. This looks like a huge endeavor for a lot of programmers and a lot of developers. It looks, wow, I'm actually really impressed. Rand, good job, man. Gave me something to read tonight.
I was kind of surprised Dealer didn't make a video about Project Atlas, to be honest, but maybe nobody really knew about it.
I didn't know.
I heard about it, but I don't even know what day this hit. I could probably tell you why. Regardless, JD Gamer in the super chat, he says, play some games, be nice. Here's some support. Good show. Thank you so much, bud. We do appreciate it. Project Atlas, all this stuff kind of sounds similar. Cloud this, cloud that. Everyone's working on cloud stuff. That's the gist of it. And we do go into detail because we're actually really passionate about the technology behind this stuff. We do believe it's a big part of gaming in the future. Even though I prefer local hardware, I'm not going to be stupid enough to say, well, it's not for me, so it's not for anyone. It's going to be for a lot of people. So let us know if it's for you in the chat as we move on to kind of real quick. PSVR, these patents keep leaking. And it kind of has me convinced there, Colt, that Sony aren't quite done with PSVR. They're going to try this on a much more capable piece of kit here. And the fact that all these patents keep leaking, one of these is probably going to be used on the next PSVR 2.0. I mean, how much do you think they're going to focus on PSVR with PS5?
I don't know. That's the weird thing, because we know they've sold to 3% of their user base on PSVR. They have some really cool titles that people really enjoy, but most of the software isn't that hot, and there's still stuff coming. VR in total isn't doing all that healthy, even on PC, right? I don't know if the panel would agree. I mean, it's kind of you and I both talked about, it's kind of a crapshoot. Like we're thinking that Microsoft is going to rely on third-party hardware for VR headsets so that they don't have to invest R&D and take a sales hit if VR doesn't continue to
let the
thrive.
third party kind of compete and drive down prices and put all their investment in the headsets they already made and just let it work on the box,
Yeah, and I don't think that Sony is losing money on the PSVR. They discounted it pretty heavily after the first year. I think they cut it like $100 or more. But yeah, like you reported in your video a couple weeks ago about the PSVR will have like a better interface and trackers because they won't be relying on that 2011 or 2010 tech. I don't know. I'm not interested in VR, and I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. VR isn't as big as people thought it would be.
Oh man,
I know, D.
I love. Have you tried VR, Colt?
Yeah, I tried it at a Microsoft store, and I was really bummed about how low resolution the screen looked up to my old eyes. Running on a GTX 1080 i7 8700K PC in store, I'm like, is it really supposed to be,
Maybe the settings were off.
Well, it depended on the headset.
No, I could see the pixels sharp as day. They're just. I was using a Vive headset.
Well, they have some newer headsets now that have a higher resolution, so
Yeah.
that should.
But I mean, how much is that, D? I don't want.
They're not too expensive. If you get the mixed reality headsets, actually they're quite affordable. Some of them are like $200. They go on sale for.
That's cool.
And it comes with everything. You know what? Fair enough. You tried VR, you didn't like it, but
No. It was cool. Like I said this before a couple podcasts ago. I was shooting arrows at like Minecraft style enemies that came around to the fortress, and it felt like tactile. Like I was shooting right where I needed to. But just the whole the price, the gear, putting it on. I'm with Phil Spencer on this one. When it's wireless and the games are there, I'm really interested. I'd be more interested in MVR, which is a Kickstarter that it comes with an Xbox style or PS4 controller, and you play all your games. And there's a switch on it that physically changes the head tracking. So instead of using the right thumbstick to look around, you disable that right thumbstick and use the head tracking to look around. And all the other settings are like you could just load up any Call of Duty game and play with this 360-degree VR headset on.
I think that is coming down the line. You made some valid points. I agree with you. It needs to go wirelessly and it needs to come down in price. I think the main thing stopping VR is the price, because there's some pretty good VR games on the PC now, and even on the PlayStation there's some pretty good VR experiences, but the price point is a little bit high to get into, especially on PC. You got to have a pretty good rig to run it, and it's going to run you back a couple of $1,000s. And are people really going to want to spend a couple of $1,000s to get VR? So yeah, the price needs to come down, but I do think it is part of the future. I think it's part of the way that we play games. Like, imagine a Call of Duty game. You're in the VR world, but you're not in the character per se. Like, you're like your view is like the camera in the game, but everything is 3D now. You see the bullets whizzing by the character's head towards you. Now that's a cool experience, and they need to get to that type of level and bring the price down and make it wirelessly. And I think it'll catch on then.
I mean, you're talking like 15 years down the road, then, D. If you're talking wirelessly and all this stuff.
I think wirelessly we're about 2 to 3 years away.
Yeah, I think it's soon. Yeah,
I mean, that's going to be a huge price point.
Podcast all about VR all the time.
Well, it's definitely more. I'll close it out with this. I think it's more. There's a bigger draw if it's on a console. If you're buying a $400 console and then you buy a VR headset that works with it, especially on Xbox. If you buy a $400 or $500 Xbox and then you can use, your buddy can bring over his Vive and hook it up. That's a little more. Alluring to more people, I would think, than to, I don't know. It's the price that bothers me.
All right.
Move on.
XO18, they're dropping a little bit of information. Keep in mind, this is coming up pretty soon. They're saying that XO18 is, of course, this notification will pop up. XO18 would basically have some pretty interesting news regarding PubG, like Rand said earlier, some Shadow of the Tomb Raider information, as well, and they say it's going to be the biggest inside Xbox that they've done, or at least that. So
that's saying something.
I don't think the Forza one was that bad. Honestly, I didn't think that inside Xbox was that bad. They had a different host there and stuff. Rand, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, calling it the biggest inside Xbox episode doesn't really
doesn't do too much, huh?
No. I mean, I just hope they have. I'm looking forward to at least one new game reveal and one studio announcement. That's really it. Like, I want to see Crackdown and I want to see the release date. Same thing with Ori. But my expectations for the show have drastically gone down in recent days.
What were your expectations? Like, I know you'd mentioned like wanting to see Fable 4 and stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I had either predicted it'd be Fable or Ninja Theory's game, and I thought Microsoft might be like, all right, we'll show off a little bit of Fable, get people really excited, but clearly, unless Ralph Fulton's lying, like, that game's still not ready to be shown. I don't know, like, I expected... I guess I just didn't expect an expanded Inside Xbox episode.
Oh, man, come on, Rand, it's going to be that bad?
I don't know. No, I'm still going to watch it. I think it's still going to be good if they show some really good content.
Have they officially said that they're going to present it like an Inside Xbox?
Yeah,
like they're using that format?
Or Inside Xbox stuff. But it's also like a multi-day event. Some stuff that goes on
Yeah.
for multiple days. But yeah, the big thing, is going to be a 2-hour Inside Xbox episode. So, I mean, if there's good games shown off and nice surprises or Game Pass stuff, and
Back and
ends
pat.
with like a brand new game being announced, then it's going to be cool. If it doesn't, then I think a lot of people might be disappointed. So I don't know.
Yeah. As of right now, I'm planning on kind of winging it with this thing. If there's something that's really cool and interesting that's debuted or unveiled there, then we'll do a live show after Inside Xbox. I don't know who all is going to be there, but we'll have
What
something.
day is it again?
Saturday.
It's actually Saturday at
No,
4
I know.
p.m. Eastern. So
Yeah.
that would be 3 Central, 1 over on the West Coast. And like I said, the expectations of the show, even though we had talked about some leaks regarding Ninja Theory, we weren't sure. We kind of speculated that if they were there, then it would have something to do with that, but they probably wouldn't be there. We don't know. But at the end of the day, temper expectations, just like Inside Xbox. People expected that to even be like E3 for some reason. And,
Yeah, every month.
a lot of these toxic guys use it as ammo. They didn't debut a new Gears of War at Inside Xbox, like they use it as ammo for some reason. So at the end of the day, final expectations are just kind of some light news drops. They do need to debut some Crackdown stuff. We did hear it's going to be playable there. Same with Division 2.
Yeah, that's a big deal because they didn't, there wasn't much for E3 for Crackdown. Just them actually putting Crackdown out there is better than nothing for me anyway.
So final expectations as we go through this, guys, hit that like button if you haven't. We really appreciate it. Maybe share the show. Colt, what are your final expectations?
Same. It's going to be an Inside Xbox, and I just want to see if they show more than 3 minutes of Crackdown. They showed a short trailer. I'd like to see them talk about what the campaign's going to have and what the multiplayer is going to do. I think that'll be a turning point for Crackdown. It's been a joke. It's been an absolute joke for the Xbox brand for almost 5 years. And this might be their chance to get people to go, oh, okay. All right. That's really what I'm looking at.
Rand?
What am I looking for?
Jesus.
Yeah, good breath there, Rand.
Yeah. What was the question?
XO expectations.
Expectations. Keep them low. If Microsoft shows more than that, then you'll be happy. Don't expect E3 Part 2.
Nope.
Because it's not going to be E3 Part 2. I am excited to see what Crackdown 3 is all about. And I really hope we get a look at Ninja Theory's next game. Please. That's all I really want. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be better than PSX this year.
Ah,
But do you remember PSX in 2016 when they announced Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted Lost Legacy? Why couldn't Microsoft do that for XO?
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you got to have a bunch of stuff to announce, really.
I guess that's true.
But we know that stuff's in development. D, what are your expectations?
Yeah, I'm with Rand. I wish they would take a page out of Sony's original Paris event and just really wow us, because they have the opportunity with all the gaming, with the gaming community's eyes on them and on them alone to really deliver something exceptional. But based on their track record, my expectations are lowered. I have to be honest, and I think the show's probably going to be a solid 7 out of 10.
Well, that's very specific.
It's already given you the
Malker,
number.
what are your expectations, bud?
I'm fucking hyped, you frauds. They're gonna show like 3 studio acquisitions, Crackdown, Ninja Theory, Fable's coming out in December. No, I just think, just keep it show. Like, I mean, it's a Inside Xbox. They said 2 hours. I mean, the thing that got me excited is that Phil's gonna be there. If he wasn't there, then just literally nobody watch it. But he's gonna be there, so that should be okay. I mean, I'm looking at maybe like the Obsidian Entertainment announcement, maybe a new game announcement, and I want to see a lot of Crackdown. I do. I want to see the multiplayer. I want to see what the single player looks like. I'm excited to see that game, because I'm really looking forward to it. And maybe a Game Pass thing. Like, I want to see because they said Game Pass is going to have a couple games coming out, or a game or two coming out on XO or announced. I want to see what they are. I didn't think about PUBG until earlier in the show when Rand brought it up, so maybe that. But other than that, I'm just looking forward to it.
What about the Sea of Thieves, bro? They said that's going to be there.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so they said they're going to do a announcement for December. There's a big Sea of Thieves announcement coming out, and apparently they're keeping it really close to the vest, and they're saying that it's going to be a really big change for the game, and they're going to bring out stuff that only pirate legends like myself, bitch, can do. So I'm looking forward to that, honestly.
Those of you who have put far too much time in a game with nothing to do.
Rude.
I'll stab you.
So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I would agree with a lot of points here. Just moderate expectations. If they did acquire Obsidian and stuff, and they don't announce it here, then that's really weird. And I guess maybe I don't know. This is kind of the perfect spot to let us know that kind of stuff. There was also another studio that was kind of rumored to be acquired as well. So I don't know. Everyone's just saying kind of temper expectations. That's kind of how I do everything. So let us know what you guys think about all of this stuff. We're all dying here. Like the batteries have just drained as we've gone along, talking about VR for more than 3 minutes straight.
I fell asleep during that.
Yeah, it took its toll, and I'm definitely going to get better at stopping that before it happens next time. We do appreciate you guys sticking in there with us, guys. A lot of interesting stuff. It's our last show before XO, and I guess, like I said, depending on what happens there, some of us will do a live show right after XO, or it might just be a video type thing. I'm fine with either one. So let us know what you guys think about all the stuff we've talked about here. We do appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button as we get into some outros, starting with Colt Eastwood, a.k.a. Red Dead Redemption podcast guy.
Yeah, you can find me at Colt Eastwood on Twitter and YouTube. Like I said, I'm halfway through Red Dead, so I've got a long ways to go. And it's so good. Yeah, it's great. It's one of those games that I just don't really go into a party chat really at all. The few times I just turn you guys all the way down, so I don't have to listen to you yak, so I can just play the game. Because that's a game like you have to hear everything. You have to hear like the spurs, the horse, the hooves, the animals, the critters, everything. It's just,
and the voice acting, right?
Yeah, it's great. Of course.
I'll also be giving away a copy of Red Dead 2 as well, depending on who the winner is, but it'll be up for grabs on Patreon this month. Check out the links down below. Also, if you want to become a sponsor of the show, check out the link. We do appreciate our sponsors, those past and present. If you've ever kind of supported the show in that way, it's really appreciated. Thank you so much. But like I said, we'll have that code up for grabs. Giveaway details will be in the next week or two on the site, so keep your eye there. Rand, thanks for joining us, bud. Sorry for the VR talk.
Yeah, I do enjoy VR, but that did put me to sleep. I kind of fell asleep, but I just finished Red Dead Redemption 2, and I cannot wait to talk to people who have actually completed it. So hurry up, Colt. Hurry up, Dealer. Zalker, start the game and play it.
Oh, what
So I need people to talk to. Like, the only one I can talk to is Fonz and my buddy Gopher. Like, I need someone to talk to about this game.
Hey,
Colt,
Rand.
hurry up and finish it, please.
Rand, I have a
Yes.
full-time job, bud.
So do I.
I got a full-time job.
I don't have any
exposing
kids.
You frauds.
So
Yeah, I'm playing as much as I can, really.
please. And Colt, you're halfway through, but you haven't even experienced it yet. Oh my God, just wait.
Yeah, it's great.
Irrelevant Native in the super chat. Nothing to say, but here's $2. Thanks, bud. That was completely unnecessary, but I appreciate it. We've also got D-Batch, man. Thanks for joining us once again, man. What's your information? Where can people find D-Batch?
You can find me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at D-Batch. And yeah, it was a good show. It's always a pleasure to be on with you and Colt, and thanks for Rand coming in, and Zalker, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of Zalker, we got Crispy Smooth himself. Where can people find you, man?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Zalker87 on my YouTube channel, Trapper Dog Content. You guys can get me on Twitter at Zalker87, and I'll be playing Red Dead Redemption. So Rand, the clickbait Al Thor, is not by himself anymore, and he can talk to someone. And also playing damn StarCraft. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay.
Well, hey, Colt, instead of beating Red Dead, you can just go watch my review again.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do
Speaking
that.
if you haven't checked it out, those listening, check it out. It'll be my last video. Put like 8 hours of work into that video, so give it a watch. Let me know what you think of at least the footage. I mean, if you're on a PS4 Pro and you want to know how crystal clear the game can be, you can check out that footage and experience what Brian Otano experienced.
Well, apparently, dealer, you need 20/20 vision to tell the difference.
Oh,
I can't.
Whatever
the game's so
the
good.
human eye can't even see above 720p anyways.
you and I can't even see above 6 voxels, so none of it even matters regardless. But hey, we're gonna get out of here. I need to go eat. I'm dying. So it was a good show, guys. Not really, but we do appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks. We'll be back next week, maybe with some Red Bull. So we are out.
I'm
Later, everybody.
dead right now.
I did not sign out twice.